Okay, welcome back, or welcome if you are new. My name is Lizzie. Today we are going to read the third part of the Victorian Ghost Stories in Oxford Anthology. We're actually going to read this story called At the End of the Passage by Rudyard Kipling. And it's going to be really interesting. I know it took me a few extra minutes to get through this whole part because I got a phone call and I had to stop. Spurstow packed his pillows craftily so that he reclined rather than lay, his head at a safe elevation above his feet. It is not good to sleep on a low pillow in the hot weather if you happen to be of thick-necked build, for you may pass with lively snores and gugglings from natural sleep into the deep slumber of heat apoplexy. "Pack your pillows," said the doctor sharply, as he saw Hummel preparing to lay down at full length. The night light was trimmed. My shadow of the punkah waved across the room, and the flick of the punkah towel and the soft whine of the rope through the wall hole followed it. When the punkah flag almost ceased, the sweat poured from Spurstow's brow. Should he go out the Haringey the Coolie? It started forward again with a savage jerk, and a pin came out of the towels. When this was replaced, a tom-tom in the Coolie lines began to beat with the steady throb of a swollen artery inside some brain-fevered skull. Spurstow turned on his side and swore gently. There was no movement on Hummel's part. The man had composed himself as rigidly as a corpse, his hands clenched at his sides. The respiration was too hurried for any suspicion of sleep. Spurstow looked at the set face. The jaws were clenched, and there was a pucker round the quivering eyelids. He's holding himself as slightly as ever he can, thought Spurstow. What in the world is the matter with him? Hummel. Yes, in a thick, constrained voice. Can't you get to sleep? No. Head hot? Throat feeling bulgy? Or what? Neither, thanks. I don't sleep much, you know. Feel pretty bad? Pretty bad, thanks. There's a tom-tom outside, isn't there? I thought it was my head at first. Oh, Spurstow, for pity's sake, give me something that will put me asleep. Sound asleep. If it's only for 6 hours. He sprang up, trembling from head to foot. I haven't been able to sleep naturally for days, and I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Poor old chap, there's no use. Give me something to make me sleep. I tell you, I'm nearly mad. I don't know what I say half my time. For 3 weeks, I have had to think and spell out every word that has come through my lips before I dared say it. Isn't that enough to drive a man mad? I can't see things correctly now, and I lost my sense of touch. My skin aches. My skin aches. Make me sleep. Oh, Spurstow, for the love of God, make me sleep sound. It isn't enough merely to let me dream. Let me sleep. All right, old man, all right. Go slow. You aren't half as bad as you think. Somebody, if you just hit him. Just deck him one and he'll knock himself out and he'll go to sleep. Oh, the floodgates of reserve once broken. Hummel was clinging to him like a frightened child. You're pinching my arm to pieces. I'll break your neck if you don't do something for me. No, I didn't mean that. Don't be angry, old fellow. He wiped the sweat off himself as he fought to regain composure. I'm a bit restless and off the oats. I perhaps you could recommend some sort of sleeping mixture. Bromide of potassium. Bromide of Skittles? So they call potassium Skittles. I really want some freaking Skittles. Why didn't you tell me this before? Let go of my arm and I'll see if there's anything in my cigarette case to suit your complaint. Spursdale hunted along his day clothes, turned up the lamp, opened a little silver cigarette case, and advanced on the expectant Hummel with the daintiest of fairy squirts. The last appeal of civilization, said he, and a thing I hate to use. Hold out your arm. Well, your sleepiness hasn't ruined your muscle, and what a thick hide it is. Might as well inject a buffalo subcutaneously now. In a few minutes, the morphia will begin working. Lie down and wait. So I guess it's like a animal tranquilizer. I'm gonna go with. That don't sound safe. A smile of unalloyed and idiotic delight began to creep over Hummel's face. I think, he whispered, I think I'm going off now. God, it's positively heavenly. Spurstow, you must give me the case to keep. You? The voice ceased as the head fell back. Not for a good deal, said Spurstow to the unconscious form. And now, my friends, sleeplessness of your kind being very apt to relax the moral fibre in the little matters of life and death, I'll just take the liberty of spiking your gums. Your guns. Not gums, guns. He paddled into Hummel's saddle room in his bare feet and uncased a 12-bore rifle, an express, and a revolver. Of the first he unscrewed the nipples and hid them in the bottom of a saddlery case. Of the second he abstracted the lever, kicking it behind a big wardrobe. The third he merely opened and knocked the doll-head bolt of the grip up with the heel of a riding boot. That settled, he said as he shook the sweat off his hands. These little precautions will at least give you time to turn. You have too much sympathy with gunroom accidents. Oh, so he's trying to basically keep his friend from killing himself in a drowsy or like messed up state, basically lack of sleep and stuff. And as he rose from his knees, the thick, muffled voice of Hummel cried in the doorway, "You fool!" Such tones they use who speak in the lucid intervals of delirium to their friends a little before they die. Spurstow started, dropping the pistol. Hummel stood in the doorway, rocking with helpless laughter. That was awfully good of you, I'm sure, he said, very slowly, feeling for his words. I don't intend to go out by my own hands at present. I say, Spurstow, the stuff won't work. What shall I do? What shall I do? And panic terror stood in his eyes. Lie down and give it a chance. Lie down at once. I daren't. It will only take me halfway again, and I shan't be able to get away this time. Do you know, it was all I could do to come out just now. Generally I am as quick as the lightning, but you had clogged my feet. I was nearly caught. Oh, yes, I understand. Go lay down. No, it isn't delirium, but it was an awfully mean trick to play on me. Do you know, I might have died? As a sponge rubs a slate clean, so some power unknown to Spurstow had wiped out of Hummel's face all that stamped it for the face of a man, and he stood at the doorway in the expression of his lost innocence. He had slept back into terrified childhood. Is he going to die on the spot? Thought Spurstow. Then aloud, all right, my son. Come back to bed and tell me all about it. You couldn't sleep, but what was all the rest of the nonsense? A place down there, said Hummel with simply sincerity. The drug was acting on him by waves, and he was flung from the fear of a strong man to the fright of a child as his nerves gathered sense or were dulled. Good God, I've been afraid for it for months past, Spurstow. It has made every night hell to me, and yet I'm not conscious of having done anything wrong. I'm sorry, I'm sitting on a pillow because I feel like I am too close to the table. I'm really short. Good God, I've been afraid of it for months past, Spurstow. It has made every night hell to me, and yet I'm not conscious of having done anything wrong. Be still, and I'll give you another dose. We'll stop your nightmares, you unutterable idiot. It's a mean thing to call your friends. I don't even call my friends idiots. I call them assholes sometimes when they are being one. I guess I mean to. Yes, but you must give me so much that I can't get away. You must make me quite sleepy, not just a little sleepy. It's so hard to run then. I know it, I felt it myself. The symptoms are exactly as you describe. Oh, don't laugh at me, confound you. Before this awful sleeplessness came to me, I've tried to rest on my elbow and put a spur in the bed to string me when I fell back. Look. By Jove, the man has been riled like a horse, ridden by the nightmare with a vengeance. And we all thought him sensible enough. Heaven send us understanding. You like to talk, don't you? Yes, sometimes. Not when I'm frightened. Then I want to run, don't you? Always before I give you your second dose, try to tell me exactly what your trouble is. Hummel spoke in broken whispers for nearly 10 minutes, while Spurstow looked into the pupils of his eyes and passed his hand before them once or twice. At the end of the narrative, the silver cigarette case was produced, and last words were Hummel said as he fell back for the second time were, "Put me to sleep, for if I'm caught, I die, I die." Yes, yes, we all do that sooner or later. Thank Heaven, who has set a term to our miseries, says Spurstow, settling the cushions under the head. It occurs to me that unless I drink something, I shall go out before my time. I've stopped sweating, and I wear a 17-inch collar. He brewed himself scalding hot tea, which is an excellent remedy against heat apoplexy. Apoplexy. I can't talk today. If you take 3 or 4 cups of it in time, then he watched the sleeper. A blind face that cries and can't wipe its eyes. A blind face that chases him down corridors. Decidedly, Hummel ought to go on. Leave as soon as possible, and sane or otherwise. He undoubtedly did rile himself most cruelly. Will Heaven send us understanding. At midday Hummel rose with an evil taste in his mouth, but an unclouded eye, with a joyful heart. "I was pretty bad last night, wasn't I?" said he. "I haven't seen healthier men. You haven't had a touch of the sun. Look here, if I write you a swinging medical certificate, will you apply for leave on the spot?" "No. Why not? You want it?" "Yes, but I can hold on till the weather's a little cooler." "Why should you, if you can't get relieved on the spot?" "Burkitt is the only man who could be sent, and he's a born fool." "Oh, never mind about the line. You aren't so important as all that. Wire for leave if necessary." Hummel looked very uncomfortable. "I can hold on till the rains," he said evasively. "You can't wire to headquarters for Burkitt." "I won't if you want to know why particularly. Burkitt is married, and his wife's just had a kid, and she's up to a Simla in the cool. And Burkitt has a very nice billet that takes him into Simla from Saturday to Monday. That little woman isn't at all well. If Burkitt was transferred, she'd try to follow him. If she left the baby behind, she'd fret herself to death. If she came, and Burkitt one of those selfish little beasts who are always talking about a wife place being with her husband, she'd die. It's murderous to bring a woman here just now. Burkitt hasn't the physique of a rat. if he came here, he'd go out, and I know she hasn't any money, and I'm pretty sure she'd go out too. I'm salted in a sort of way, and I'm not married. Wait till the rains, and then Burkett can get thin down here. It'll do him heaps of good. Do you mean to say you intend to face what you have faced till the rains break? Oh, it won't be so bad. Now you've shown me a way out of it. I can always wire to you. Besides, now I've once got into the way of sleeping, it'll be all right. Anyhow, I shan't put in for leave. That's the long and the short out of it. My great Scott, I thought all that sort of thing was dead and done with. Okay, we'll be back with the next part. I'm actually going to take a break because I want to drink some of my pop, and I actually got to go check on my mom. Because as I said before in the first video that I'm about to post, she's had seizures, and we just got back from the hospital. So I will actually let you guys go, and I will come back to you with the next part, and hopefully this story will start making a little more sense to me. It's just, these kind of stories are a little hard for me to wrap my head around. I am dyslexic, and I'm very, very bad at this. I decided to do videos that require talking, and I am very bad at talking. But we will be back.